There we go. Yeah, I have no idea if these are going to turn out or not. So I brought the long lens today. I saw this shot when I was walking out of the park the other day that showed like the moon was tucked between these two buildings. I think I'm going to try to get that again today, although I think the timing was a little bit later. By the way, it's also... Oops. Sorry. It is, I believe, 15 below zero, the feels like temperature. I am not surprised that I do not see very many bikers out today. Somebody partied a little too hard with some wine, or they went and bought the wine and they were getting on their city bike and they dropped it. Oof, either way. Just hoping that the doggies wouldn't step on it. Okay, this is not going to turn out. I think it's because I don't have the focal point as a specific focal point. And part of that is because I don't know how to move it to center. Yeah, that wind picks up and it's quite chilly. What's the difference in shooting like long lenses and wide lenses? I think it's perspective. Duh. I also think it's like shot planning. Like I don't look, 10, 15 feet in front of me anymore to see what's available 20, 30 feet in front of me. I gotta look hundreds of feet out. Like there's this cloud on the east side over there I like to get. The problem goes back to I can't get this focus down. Maybe I'll give it one more try. Also, can I say gloves are great? Like, why aren't you moving? when I get home and know exactly how to do this. Okay, that's information. Well, I'm just gonna have to shoot with a broad focus. Yeah, I think I'll be able to get that shot, which is not the one I was looking for, or not the one I was thinking about initially. Can I sneak in there? Here's the part where the focal point's going to be a problem. Because I get these trees in the way, and I'm afraid that the focal point's going to pick up on the branches instead of the actual tree. I think it might open up if I get into the streets. So maybe up here I can grab it. If not, I can get it when I come out in that clearing by Sheep's Meadow. Yeah, it looks like those clouds have started to dissipate too. It is a clear, cold morning. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it from here either. Maybe the closer I get, the tougher the shot. Yeah, so I think that perspective is just the biggest challenge, right? With the wide angle, that's what I'm looking at is to find like no duh that's wide, but to capture context in a scene versus the longer lens makes me feel like I need to focus specifically on a specific thing. With the difference being also that I have to look like way down the road. I think with the digital camera it's a little bit easier because I can crop a little bit. Okay, where'd you go? This might be an okay shot. So get the moon above one of the glass skyscrapers with a little bit of tree in them. Let's see. Can you focus on something, dude? Oh, we'll see how these turn out. I guess that's the other thing is if you don't have that pinpoint focal point, then you got to think about the shot, like what's in the foreground and what's in focus. Maybe you could do it on the screen. Let me see here. Okay, let's focus. Okay, see if that works. Yeah, as I swing around here, I might be able to get a better picture. Just seeing why people run on the sidewalk. Okay, so there's that crane way out there. That wind picking up over the lake, that reminds me of the coldest I've ever been is in Chicago during the winter. Yeah, just that wind coming off of that lake. Okay, this might open up for us. Look at that shot up there. What's that half a moon called? Yeah, even taking it like at a, like, so this is like a zoom lens, even taking it at a broader focal length, it just doesn't get that focus anymore. I brought an extra battery because I'm pretty sure that this cold is going to evaporate the battery strength in this one. It's also kind of interesting, or certainly different. The autofocus compared to like film, or at least the analog approach. To see the, I'm assuming that's chimney smoke, or at least condensation coming out of the top of that building on a wider lens. That would not be the focal point of the shot with a longer lens. There really isn't any option. I mean, I could crop that on a broader or a wider lens. Not sure if that's the workflow I'm looking for. I mean, normally I'll import these in, usually just into the photo app on a Mac. I'll import all the raw files in and then just review them on a tablet or something. And the ones I like, I'll favorite. Then I'll go back to those later on and see if those are still a favorite. And after that, if I feel like they could use some enhancement, then I'll go in and do some light touch up, straightening it out, playing with the contrast a little bit. I like that darker, moodier shots. Yeah, so that shot, okay, I don't think I would have looked at this before, but that light, can I frame it behind? That's a good example of what I was mentioning. So there's a street lamp in front of Sheep's Meadow. Sheep's Meadow is all white from the snow. So I'll probably bring the contrast down in the snow so the light is a little more visible or obvious. I think it would be anyway. You can kind of see, like, even that lamppost with the trees behind it doesn't necessarily pop. It's not separated from the background. I wonder if I can get that Essex House sign on top of the Essex House without the building behind it. To the top of it and get a little smoke or condensation. I've got double gloves on. Got liners and a pair of mittens. My fingers are still cold. Oh yeah, if I can get an opening across the park over there. Yeah, I think as soon as I make a right here, I might be able to get that Essex House. That smoke or condensation, can I get it without? Good timing. Yeah, I have no idea if that battery was full or not. Oops, I forgot to turn it off. Okay, where is it? Right there. Can I get that? Okay, now where's my Essex house? Let's go that way. I think there might be a little pocket between these two trees. I might be able to get it. Maybe not. There, I was thinking. No, maybe a little bit more. Here we go. I think I'll be able to get it right there. Where'd you go? There you are. This is a goofy shot, but just down the street there. If we get closer here, yeah, that's not gonna matter. This building's always been weird to me. We have a little bit of an affection towards it because it was like really the first big skyscraper that came up on the south side of the park when we were living here the first time. I mean, it's a complete basket case of a building. Paid $60 million for a floor and you can't even use the elevator. So there's a person that's waiting for the light to cross Central Park West up there. Like if I had the regular camera, I probably wouldn't even pay attention to it. Yeah, that didn't work. I was trying to get the mist, I think it's coming up from the subway grates. The steam in front of her with her and the dog, or that person and the dog waiting across the street. Probably a good time to get a isolated photo of the water tower too. All the water towers I've taken photographically have been as part of a building. But now they got this longer lens on, I might be able to isolate it with maybe like a little bit, a tiny bit of context around it. Yeah, when I started walking into the park this morning, it was the moon was right next to that tall building. And it's all the way to the side now. Earth is just amazing. Oh my gosh, what a couple of troopers. Yeah, I could probably time it where there's people walking across the street up there by the Dakota building, 72nd. And get a photo of them. Let's see if I can get the. How close are we? I get myself perfectly situated, and the wind picks up and starts to take me. Yeah, like see the person, the dog crossing the street up there. I wonder if I can time it and see somebody and then get in the middle of the street all while it's red lights. That's part of, I think, like an Amazon delivery car. If I can get, is that flag being held? Oh, I missed it. Maybe I can get it on the other side. So a flag on top of the Dakota building with a little statue next to it. Stand on top of the subway grates and get a little warm at the same time. That looks like he lost another one. You can see how windy it is with that flag up there. I don't feel that down here as much. In fact, you can see the tops of the trees up here aren't moving around all that much. And you get the front of the Dakota building with the lamps from this distance. Without the bus stop. Of course, I start talking about getting a photo of water tower. No more water towers. Good timing. We just wanted to get in front of the Langham Hotel or building without the cars in front. I'm mostly interested in the gold shining off the morning sun. There's still a car out front. But maybe I can get it this time. Yeah, it's definitely got cold out. I think we're supposed to get this cold until like mid-morning, maybe early afternoon. Just fine. I'll be tucked at home watching the Liverpool game, the big game today. Yeah, see, there's a water tower up there, but you just can't get the separation. I don't know if I can get that though. Top of the San Remo building. I'm trying to get it where there's some of that smoke coming out from the top of it. Sorry if my voice feels muffled. I've got the mask pulled up over my nose. It just got a little chilly. Maybe when I cross the street here, I'll turn around and see what downtown looks like, or at least that view. Yeah, see, the moon is totally gone.